Warning: the following content may include crude language, adult themes, sensitive topics, and bad jokes.
Well, you're a midget. You shouldn't have punched him in the shins.
Damn it, Jeremy.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Generalization podcast. On today's episode, I have with me
Haley, aka Hey Bae.
Kylie. And Kelsey, aka Rox.
And I am Jeremy, your faithful moderator for the day. Don't worry, I'll never give you up, let you down, run around, or desert you.
I hope you do.
Okay, so to open today's episode, I thought long and hard about this question to make sure it could get the most in-depth answers possible.
Uh-huh.
And the question I want to pose to you is, would you fuck a robot?
What?
Oh.
Now let me expand on this. It's not like something that we put batteries in or those machines that are made for that. I'm talking about someone makes an android.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like if, ands, or buts about it. It's obviously a robot android form. Would you fuck a robot?
If I loved this robot,
Can you truly love a robot?
Well,
you can love anything.
But can it love you back? Does it have to love you back?
Well, you know, I saw a play once last year where this guy was playing the role of a robot, and he was married to this woman, and it was set into the future and stuff, and they were really happy, and he was explaining love to her, and he was like, I love that you put ravioli in my soup bowl or whatever, and he was like, whenever I see you, whatever like I have here in my belly, it feels empty, and I see you and it feels full, and like he was describing love, and so I feel like if a robot can describe it hypothetically, then he can love. And so I can love back, and I would fuck this robot.
That's not at all. I was not expecting you to go straight from like, if you can feel love, I would fuck that.
Your voice like dropped an octave too. Like you went from like high pitched to I'ma fuck it.
Yes, I'd fuck a robot. It doesn't have to love me.
Oh.
They're
Like
built-
most of the girls you
They're
fuck.
built for a reason. Hey, listen. Don't turn this on me again, because we'll swing back your direction, and this time you can't cut us out early, because we're not nearly close to an hour. Try me with that shit again.
So I wouldn't be able to do it because I don't know, like robots, they don't have the same feeling and connection that a human does.
Another thing I thought about fucking a robot is like, what if there's some kind of malfunction during this?
They
it just-
short out.
It just electrocutes you from the inside.
Oh, fuck.
They're not waterproof.
Can't fuck a boy robot.
Oh my god. That's...
God.
Oh man. That was something.
We're like 3 minutes in.
Hello, Dolly.
What about you, Haley?
I don't know, honestly. Like y'all have thought out answers. I'm just in there like, where did this come from? I don't even like thought process of.
Okay, hypothetically, let's say that your boyfriend got just completely obliterated off the earth. Like, he's not living.
Hey, God.
My God.
You could have said he died. She's not gonna go fuck his corpse. I hope.
So they now have this new program out where you can go and make a robot that's in the form of your boyfriend.
That's creepy.
Would you do it though? Would you do it?
That's creepy.
Yeah, that feels a little. That
That's
feels
creepy.
wrong.
That's a whole different
But
level.
Kelsey, you said you could love it.
Oh well,
There's not someone that's dead.
you're saying like a simulation of her boyfriend, right? Is that what you meant?
Like,
it's
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, they take the robot. It's made.
Uh-huh.
It's obviously a robot inside,
Yeah.
but they. I don't know. How to
It
describe
looks like
yeah,
the
it looks
a
like
simulation.
him.
So
Yeah.
it's a simulation.
Yeah.
I see that.
It's like
that,
iRobot, but
that I wouldn't like.
would you
because
fuck Will Smith?
It's like trying to make the person you loved before the same person again, but it's a robot,
Oh,
and that's
man.
impossible.
That's-
So I think if
no.
the robot were like created to be super original and like its own thing, and it had like an intelligence, you know.
You would, because you wouldn't have any expectations of
Right.
it
Yeah.
if
right.
it was its own being.
Oh yeah.
Man, such a weird question got serious all of a sudden.
Completely
My God.
left-sided.
Hello.
All right.
Sorry.
I really don't know how to segue out of that.
We just don't.
Wow, I fucked myself
Did you?
with a robot.
Oh.
Well, how about guilty pleasures?
Oh, yay, my favorite question.
I
I thought of
answered
this one.
the other day.
I
I'll
don't,
go later.
I don't know, like, what I think about, like, guilty pleasures. Like, when you say guilty pleasures, the only thing I imagine was, like, things you enjoy that you shouldn't, or
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, is that what it is? Like,
Yeah, that's
you
it.
culturally shouldn't enjoy
Yeah.
a thing.
The
that you
Twilight
do.
series.
I'll
and
say no to
High
that.
School Musical.
Yes.
Zac
Like,
Efron.
so guilty.
Kylie, Frozen.
No, actually, I was going to say my guilty pleasure is listening to country music because I always preach about how much I hate it.
Oh, wow.
How dare you traitor.
I'm sorry.
You are a liar.
That's legit all she listens to in the shower. From like, because look, we're roommates. So like, she gets in the shower, all you hear is country music. I'm like,
It's not all just country.
You told me
It
you
switches
hated
from
it.
like Blake shouting to futuristic. like,
Kylie,
I mean,
Jeremy's
You're
like, I
a-
just haven't known you my whole
Why?
life.
you're a liar.
guilty pleasures. So everyone.
Oh my god.
okay, I'm gonna stick with Twilight because that one seems to be really guilty for people. Like they're just
I
like,
was-
I will never admit that I like Twilight, and I'm like, but my music
loved
comes
it.
from there, like
Same.
Bon Iver and like Iron and Wine.
Muse.
Freaking Paramore's on there. I loved them before,
Yeah.
but Paramore is on there.
There's a movie that is my guilty pleasure that I was talking with Ed about just yesterday. No, not yesterday. The day before yesterday. I can't entirely remember what it was because I was jokingly saying it was better than The Crow.
Oh,
I can't remember what movie it was.
Poe.
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 No, I cannot remember what it is for the life of me. But we just talked about it yesterday or the day of.
Do you know what it's about?
Not a fucking clue. But I know it's definitely not seen as better than The Crow. It's like some. It's a really dumb movie, I'm sure.
I remember you telling us about it. I just don't remember the
I know
name.
I like the Master of the Disguise movie a whole lot. I don't know if that counts as a guilty pleasure because it's just one of those weird movies that's supposed to be weird. It's not like it's trying to be anything else. So I don't know if that one really counts.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't know if I have a guilty pleasure that I can think of off the top of my head. Honestly,
I don't think I do either.
Pickles on a peanut butter sandwich. Try it.
That's
That just sounds
That's just
gross.
wrong.
well, that's
It's
like
just wrong.
okay. So that's like me
Not.
saying to people. I tell people all the time they need to try it's peanut butter, banana, and mayonnaise sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
My
See,
dad eats those.
You're having the reaction.
Yeah.
Everyone else has the reaction to what you just said.
My reaction was like, oh, that sounds kind of good. And then I was like, I hate mayonnaise all the time. So maybe, if you don't like one
Really,
of the
the only,
ingredients.
okay, so here's the thing. The reason you put mayonnaise on it isn't for taste, because you don't really taste it because of peanut butter and bananas. The reason you put mayonnaise on it is so the sandwich isn't so dry.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
they're
okay.
super dry.
That's why you put the mayonnaise on it.
I
It's
usually
got-
do honey.
It's got nothing to do with, but that just gets that just makes everything just sticky.
It's good, though.
It's everywhere.
It is good.
Yeah.
That's what she
I had one literally 2 days ago.
Honey never goes bad, isn't that a thing? Scientifically.
I
that
don't
was
know.
spam.
What? No, honey and
Spam
spam aren't the
survives.
same thing. I'm just gonna tell you that now.
Spam
No, they're not
survives
the same.
apocalypse.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
what
think
this
there's an expiration date on honey.
No, there's not. You can leave it open; it just doesn't expire.
You're
It's
not
just-
supposed to give them to babies. Because babies can, they haven't developed an immunity to the whatever's in it, whatever's in pollen or whatever.
Well, usually, if you have bad allergies in a certain area, if you go and get organic honey that's made locally
In your area.
and you eat it, you'll
Yeah.
stop having allergies because you'll
That's
build up
cool.
immunity that way.
I always
Yeah.
get local honey and I put it in my tea.
I don't because I don't have allergies and don't drink tea.
That's crazy. I have both of those things.
Well, that's why I
Allergies
enjoy
and tea.
That's why I enjoy your
Allergies.
Snapchat stories
Allergies.
so much. Because your
What?
Snapchat stories are always like the cutest thing. Because you have like the
Thanks.
little teacups.
They're really
Charity,
random.
Charity had a Snapchat today that was tea.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
I saw that
I
today.
feel like mine are really random. Like, I go from, here's a Tumblr photo to here's me dancing to Last Christmas by Wham!
I don't usually post to my story a whole lot unless there's
Uh-huh.
something really interesting or really dumb that happened
Yeah.
recently. I don't outwardly share things that happen in my life. I
Yeah.
don't take pictures really often.
I do it if I'm doing something cool.
I don't take pictures that often in any situation, and it's weird because I say everyone's like, "Let's take a picture." So remember this. I'm like, I'm not gonna take a picture because I'd rather spend the time that it would take to take the picture, spending more time in this
Yeah.
moment.
I get that argument. I feel like my personal view on that is I forget things super easily, and if I'm having a really good time, I want at least one picture that reminds me of the moment, and I try not to take away from the actual moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still want to live fully in that you know, in what's happening and have fun, but I want to document.
I think it also stems from, like, as a child, no one ever, like, took pictures of me.
Oh, yeah.
So those don't exist. So it was never, like, it wasn't really a thing that I knew of that people did that and kept memories that way. So it was never, like, something I thought I'd do in the future ever.
And then you have me who takes pictures of everything.
Yeah.
Your
like,
stories are full. Always. It's like,
yeah.
damn.
She's doing a lot.
Like,
She's hanging out.
like, we keep going.
Why does he have a mouthful of lemon slices? What's going on?
Was that at B-Dubs?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
B-Dubs.
B-Dubs.
That was for our mutual friend Seth's birthday
I was-
party.
Aww.
I was pretty, like, medium, high-key flirting with
with
our
the
waitress
waitress.
at the time.
Ooh.
So was Little B. So
But she was, like, she was playing back on it, though. So it wasn't, like, a one-sided thing, thankfully, because that would have been
she
super
brought him an
embarrassing.
entire plate of lemons.
Because I was joking around with her. I was like, because I got one of those drinks that has lemons in it. I was like, this slice is not the same, from the same lemon as this slice, because this one's much more sour. And I was like joking, like complaining about it. She's like, do you want me to get you more lemons from the same lemon? I was like, preferably, yes, I would enjoy that. She leaves, goes back there, not only takes a lemon, cuts it up into like 6 slices, and brings it back to me. And she's like, they gave me such weird looks back there when I grabbed this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to stick them all in his mouth.
Only 5 of them. I couldn't get the 6th one in because I was choking on lemon juice.
That's what she said.
And your drool was like just dripping from
It
your
was,
mouth.
it was awful. It was
Oh my
disgusting.
God.
Yeah, it was
I
pretty
love
bad.
Just let the audience visualize that for a minute.
It got pretty
Yeah.
bad. Let's see. Now we talked about guilty pleasures. How about fears?
Ooh, huh. Ooh, so many.
Like, what are you the most afraid of, though?
The most afraid of? Honestly, I feel like my answer has pretty much always been death. I've always been so afraid to die because I don't really know what my religion is. I don't know what I believe in, so I don't know where I'm going to go. No one ever does. Even if you believe full-heartedly in something, you still have that in the back of your mind, like, where am I going to go? And I think that's the scariest thing. Not knowing is something that really freaks me out.
Yeah, I understand that. My biggest fear is probably spiders. Like, I'm not afraid of death so much because, like, it's something that happens. It's always happened. It just continues to happen, and life goes on around it. But spiders. People have burned down homes because of spiders.
I burned down my home. No, I'm just kidding. But
You lived in the same home since you were, like, born.
I have. Well,
So-
I mean, I've moved 3 times, but in a span of like 2 years. And
Yeah.
now, since I was 5,
Yeah.
same house.
So it's basically your whole life.
So my whole life I've lived in the same
Same
house.
house. There's not been a spider incident. You moved twice because you burned those houses
Yes,
down
yeah.
because of spiders,
Mhm.
and now this house is like strictly spider-free zone.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen the signs posted all over your yard.
Yeah.
Like they like
Are
I,
they
res-
like little
like-
miniature signs that you stick in the grass?
like
that
I,
just
I
their
respect
height?
those spiders for like understanding and like
Yeah.
not invading your personal space
you know,
like that. Yeah.
I mean, if you spell it out for them,
so like the spider cultures, they're really
they're understanding.
they're very nice if you give them a chance.
That's actually incorrect. They're demons. They spawn from Satan. Spiders suck. But you know what's worse than spiders? House centipedes.
Oh,
Because
God.
you know what happens when you kill a house centipede? You literally crush them and they've just like disappeared into dust and they're not there
You're
anymore.
right.
Or like you smack it on the wall and they just fall down and you're like, oh shit. Like where did it go? And it's gone forever.
I once tried to hit a spider with a shoe in my room.
Yeah.
I missed, the spider disappeared. I slept on the couch for a week and hoped that it died. I slept on the couch for a week. By the end of the week, I literally prayed. I was like, God, please let the spider be gone somewhere, as long as it's just not in my room. And then I trusted in that, and I went back to my room.
Oh
Slept
my
there.
gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it's all, I've never liked spiders at all. I watched the movie Eight-Legged Freaks way too many times because my sister knew it bothered.
Why?
My sister knew it bothered me, and there's a scene in that movie. Spoilers if you haven't seen that old ass movie. There's a scene. Don't. There's a scene in the movie where a cat. Do you know the premise of the movie? Okay, so this guy has like a spider farm for some reason,
Fuck that.
and people and these
Burn
other like
Yeah.
big company people are dumping chemicals into like a pond.
Great
right,
idea.
right next to where he is, and it gets into the spiders somehow, and they grow, so they become
Oh.
like giant
Fuck
size
that.
spiders. Like,
Oh.
and so there's a scene where a cat gets in a fight with a spider in an air vent, and you see like them going back back and forth, like the body shapes being slammed into the vent, and you just hear the cat like meow in pain, and it's just dead. And every time I saw that, I cried.
Oh, no.
And my sister knew that movie bothered me, so she wanted to watch it any single chance she got.
That's awful.
Always on like road trips where I'm stuck in the vehicle. and can't get away from it.
That's horrible.
Yeah, my sister both my sisters have hated me for a long, long time.
Ugh.
Now we're better off because they're finally adults.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how well of adults they are,
Right.
but they're adults.
Little side note, I just want to let you know that my toenail is like broke in half. I'm holding my toenail.
Ah.
And we can go back to the story now.
Okay. Oh, man, that was very off track.
So Haley, what's your fear?
Okay, it's snakes.
Ooh.
You don't want to go to our high school then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They just fall from the ceiling.
Snakes fall from our ceiling.
So many snakes.
I
I can't wait to see how that registers back on the audio.
I had a panic attack because I stepped over one and didn't realize it, and my mom was there freaking out, legit crying, panic attack, laid on the floor, did not move.
That reminds me of a story about a spider I
Lay
had
on the
once.
floor where the snake is.
Where
no, it
I
was
was-
outside.
Oh.
I walked back inside.
Okay, so you
panic
know
attack.
what banana spiders, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those spiders are like the size of our heads.
Oh no.
I was walking through my yard and I walked around and I went between the two trees and I stopped, and for some reason I don't know why I stopped. I stopped and I turned around and I looked up, and around the tops of the trees where they were close together, there's a giant spider web with a banana spider right in the center of it.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my mind, sprinted to my home, locked the door, and I did not go outside for the rest of the week.
I wouldn't go outside forever.
I was terrified. I was freaking out. That thing could have dropped down on me and got me.
So I'm sensing a pattern here. Anytime you see a spider, you stay away from a certain area for a week.
Yes, that's
Always a
that's the
week.
process. Because like, what's really their like living stages in nature? Especially banana spider here in West Virginia.
Yeah, that's wrong. How'd
Exactly.
they get here?
I don't know.
The minute spiders start to fly, I'm moving to Mars. I don't care if I can't breathe on Mars. I'm gonna move there.
You can sign up to like. I think you can sign up to be one of the first people to be sent there to try and colonize it.
I mean,
You're probably gonna die.
thinking about it at this point.
The potential of
Finals
death is
week,
there. Yeah, finals week. Oh my God. I got a 9 on one of my finals recently. I don't know if I told you guys that. 100.
Oh,
Shit.
Oh my god. What was it? What final?
Theater. It was all about musical theater, and I missed like the day we went over notes for it. I didn't have anyone I could ask for their notes at the time, and so I got a 9 on the exam, but I still have like a C+ in the class.
In 101?
in 101.
All
Yeah.
right.
So
Get on your shit.
I know I need to get my shit done.
Yeah.
It's a process.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm getting
I
there.
took that class and I failed every test. And I know so much about theater. It's my life. You know? I know so much. But I failed every test. I just have test anxiety, though.
I'm usually a really good test taker. I'm surprised I got 9 points. At all.
You mean like the bridge that you drew on the one
Okay,
test?
okay, so I think I might have told you this story
I
before.
don't know.
So in AP English, our senior year of high school, we had been taking a test on a book that I did not read at all, and our teacher knew that I hadn't read it, and she gave me shit about it the entire year. We took a test on this book, and one of the questions, I didn't answer any of them because I didn't know what they were. One of the questions was like, bring this to this.
It was
Like,
like,
it was like-
draw
oh, it
a
was like-
bridge.
Draw like there's like right in like the bridges that bring these two books together, like the similarities they have or whatever. I legitimately just drew a suspension bridge and a drawbridge next to each other, and then on the other side of the paper I just wrote, "I'm so sorry for this."
Oh my
I got
gosh.
10 points on that test because I apologized. I got 10 points on my apology.
Oh my gosh.
I wasn't the only person who drew bridges though. 3 other people drew bridges as well.
I wonder who.
One of them including Kylie.
Nope.
And then, like, another test we had in that class, I did the same thing. I did a callback to that and drew a bridge. It was like, remember me?
Oh.
I think I got a better grade on that test, though, for whatever reason.
Oh, that's
So,
funny.
I don't know. I didn't like that class. I barely read any of the books we had in there.
What class?
AP.
English. AP English, yeah.
Okay.
It was ridiculous.
I had the same thing. Did not like it.
Yeah, no. I'm in communications with Taryn.
Ah, Taryn, my buddy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to try to do a eulogy for Harambe.
Oh,
Which I mentioned on the last episode,
Wow.
but you weren't there for me to tell.
but
and I
it's
was talking
dead
before.
now.
And like, I'm so tired of memes. Last night during auditions, while we were waiting in the other room, I can't remember who asked who, but somebody asked the question or brought up something about memes. And I was
Eh?
like, was like, no, Ed didn't bring it up. Ed did participate in the conversation, but he didn't bring it up. I was like, I am so sick and tired of memes. I've already gone off my whole rant about memes. I don't want to do it again. I'm so tired of memes.
Yeah.
Especially the Bon Appetit memes.
There's a Bon Appetit meme.
It's like
I'm out of the loop.
It'll
I'm
have like
not up to date.
It'll have like a picture of a food and be like it'll be like a really terrible food, or like not even an actual meal. It'll be like one of them's like macaroni and cheese, and they'll caption it, "My babe just made me smack the pony and leave." Bone Appetit.
No.
I hate it so much. It's my least favorite thing I've ever seen.
Man.
It's Kylie's favorite.
You didn't have to
Kylie
call me
loves
out
it.
like that, though.
Oh, I'm gonna throw you under the bus after what happened last episode.
We don't have to do this, Jeremy.
Listen,
You're a
you're
target.
gonna start a war that
We
you
don't
can't
have to do this.
You're gonna start a war that you
Catch a
can't finish.
call from the ice inside your soul.
No, copyright strike.
I just made that up.
Key change.
We got so sidetracked from fears.
Oh yeah, we were talking about fears.
Kylie, what's your fear?
Yeah, what's your fear?
My fear.
Oh, my other biggest fear is being alone. Like, entirely alone. Like, separated from every single person I know. Like, not having anyone at all, but being surrounded by people. Like, being legitimately alone in my life is my second biggest fear.
Oh,
Like,
well.
real fucking
Spiders,
serious.
spiders are scarier.
But spiders, though,
Um,
I'll lose my shit about
it's
spiders.
gonna be. We're kind of backtracking here because I'm gonna kind of play off what Kelsey said. I have two fears in life, not including spiders. I'm terrified of those. I will run.
I have definitely
Right in the
arachnophobia. I can actually have a panic attack that will kill me
I hate
if I'm
spiders.
stuck around spiders.
But playing off
Well,
of
I'm not gonna let that happen.
playing
No.
off what Kelsey said, I am terrified of death because, like what she was saying, even if you do have a religion, you still don't know what's going to happen after it, and it's just the fear of you like either going to sleep one night and you're not going to wake up. But are you going to be in like a sleep paralysis state where you're going to like?
Oh, sleep paralysis messes me up. The idea of that.
Yeah.
I've never had it happen to me.
Me either.
The most I've had with paralysis and sleep is falling asleep on both my arms and not being able to roll over. That's the worst I've had. But no, I've never had actual sleep paralysis. But that kind of freaks me out. But I'm not really afraid of it. I think if that happened to me, I'd just be like, oh, and go back to sleep.
I'm unbuttoning my pants. I'm so bloated. Alright.
Sorry.
But that's one of the things I'm afraid of because it's like you just lay down, go to sleep. You have plans to wake up in the morning. You just
Or you get murdered.
or you get murdered.
Well, do you really plan to wake up in the morning, or do you just expect
you just
to?
hope to.
No, until I wake up in the
Fuck.
morning.
Does that mess you
Let's
up?
just hope.
Well,
Like, you
I
don't
mean,
plan to. You just
you don't know
expect
how,
it's going to
though,
happen.
You know, like I mean, there's so many ways. There's more than 1,000 ways to die.
That was a good
There's
show.
just so I hated
Dumb ways to die.
it. I hated it because
Man,
it made me think
dumb
about
ways to
dying. I hated it. Anyway, but yeah.
There were some weird things I
just-
saw on that show. You said that, and I remember this one where this guy was like banging a girl on top of one of those power boxes things. I think that they had piercings or something, and it like electrocuted them while they were having sex.
Great. Every good job.
Every time I think back to that show, I think of the one episode where it took place like back in like medieval times when they had the chastity belts when those were really popular, and the woman
Those were popular.
when those were popular.
Yo, you get a new chastity belt? Yeah, you bet. This one's gold plated, sucker.
But like
Is that their version of a grill?
Oh no.
But like the princess, like her husband had left to go like travel to like another kingdom.
Yes.
And she had been cheating on him. But
Right.
every time like he finally caught on to it, so he started putting the chastity belt on her. And you know, once you take the key, there's no way to get it off unless you like break it. So she tried sliding it off when her
Ooh,
yeah,
no.
and she cut herself. And back in that time,
Oh,
there was
you get
no help.
Back in that time, you get a cut, you're gonna die
Yeah.
in the next
This
week.
sounds like a real
It
story.
ended up getting
You'll get the plague.
It ended up getting really
You'll get
infected. She
amputated.
died.
Real, yeah,
Right.
you'll die within a week of a cut. At that time. I remember another one where two people, like there was a group of friends, and two of them were like this guy and the girl, like they're into each other, and they both had like tongue piercings,
Ooh.
and they're in two different cars, convertibles, and they're driving really fast because they're like punk and all that stuff, like being super cool. They started to make out between the two cars, and their tongue piercings got stuck together.
I remember
I'm sorry, wait. They're driving the cars?
No. They're riding in the cars. They're in a
riding
group of friends, like two groups of
Okay.
friends and everything. And they're riding in the cars and they're making out, and their tongue piercings get stuck together. And there's like one of those light poles in the way, and for some reason no one's like, let's turn the cars
Yeah.
or stop.
Reality.
Well, because I think the whole thing was they were going to be like, we're going to do this, and then we're going to separate right before we get to it, like for the adrenaline rush. And they couldn't separate, and I guess they obviously couldn't tell their friends that they're not able to separate because their tongues are stuck together, and they hit the pole while they're connected.
None of these stories are real.
Probably not.
There was this
It sounds like a
one.
comic book game.
There was one that was interesting to me. It's not super entertaining, but basically this woman was a nudist and she was a painter. And
Is it what she like ate her hair?
Yeah,
And had, like the giant like
Wait.
Hairball?
She ate her hair.
yeah.
And she would just like chew on the ends of her hair while she painted or whatever. And eventually she just straight died because her stomach filled with hair.
Oh.
And she just like couldn't digest anything. And she just freaking died.
That show is the reason why I'm terrified of disposable razors.
Because the rust.
Yes, they had the one where she she was like a exotic dancer.
This is why
in,
you
like,
look
Las
at your
Vegas.
razor before you shave.
Listen, when you're an exotic dancer, nothing matters to you.
Excuse me, it's your job. Your job should matter to you, and you should treat it accordingly by using safe precautions and your getting ready state.
My job is living. I
Yeah.
don't want to die.
But she like cut herself and like
Yeah.
I guess she got like tetanus or whatever, and she was like, I'll deal with it later. And you know,
Also,
she
why
didn't
you
deal
get
with
a
it later
tetanus
because she died.
Yeah, get a
Yeah,
tetanus
you're
shot.
supposed to get one. You're supposed to get one every 10 years.
Yeah, well,
Unless something happens. You're supposed to get one every 10 years because like they're supposed to be good for 10 years. But if something happens, like if you get a cut on some like
a
metal
nail or whatever.
like a rusty nail or get bit by a dog, you're supposed to go get another tetanus shot so it can fight that. So it's like a new fresh batch that can fight
Right.
whatever might try and get you. That being said, I was bitten by a dog once. That's why I know this.
Yeah.
Because like there's this dog, and I'd walk to the bus stop, and there's this dog that would, like follow me, and it would sniff at my ankles, and it was kind of freaking me out because it was like it scared me. I was like, this dog, I don't know whose dog it is. And if I turned around, it would like back up, and, like growl, like bark at me. So every couple feet, like it would get close to me. I was afraid it was gonna bite me the entire time.
Yeah.
Like obviously, I was afraid for a good reason, but it would always back off and like run away. And then one day, I'm coming back from school, from the bus stop and everything. So I'm walking on the road, and the dog comes, and it's like coming down the hill. And I'm standing in the middle of the road, and I stop and I turn and I look at it. We're about 10 yards apart, I'd say. I'm sitting here just like staring down this dog, like waiting to see what's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, it starts charging me.
oh my god.
Runs at me and bites me on the shin.
Oh my gosh.
And the bullshit about it is, that dog was allowed to stay in the neighborhood with a chain. But our two dogs that have never ever had any problems with people got taken away by the animal control because someone said that it bit them but couldn't even identify the dog itself. Just said that it was
that's
our
stupid.
dog. So they took both of our dogs.
That would make me so mad.
Yeah, and then
I would go to court.
the guy when he showed up to take the dogs, my dad was just like, "Can you explain to me the situation?" The guy was like, "Sir, you need to calm down with your attitude." I was like,
Whoa.
I was about like 15. And this is a grown-ass man, and I was about ready to fight him. It's like, dude, you're going to take our dog but not tell us why. Like, you need to calm down,
Yeah.
sir. Do your job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, it's ridiculous, that kind of stuff. Let's see. I'll get to that other topic here in a minute. But I had another thought the other day that we could talk about on the podcast. I don't remember what made me think of it, but it's got a lot to do with, like, self-image and stuff. Where people get mad at others whenever they're comfortable with their self-image.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you accept that you look a certain way, like if people all the time are like, "Hey, you're really pretty," or like, "Hey, you're good looking," and you start to accept that and you can admit it yourself, people then start to call you conceited.
Yes.
You ever notice that? Like that's really
Yeah.
weird. Like they think you're a beautiful person until you think you're a beautiful person,
Yeah.
because then you're just a piece of shit.
Yeah. It's like people just want to like be they want you to be the damsel in distress no matter what.
Exactly.
People want to be like, let me fix you.
Exactly.
Let me tell you you're good. And I'm like, what if I already think I am okay? You know, what if I think I am good?
And then they started attacking you
Yeah,
for it.
they're like, you're such a narcissist. And I'm like, no, I think that you should love yourself.
Oh, I remember why I thought of this topic. I was talking to somebody, and they said that they were like, "I'm a potato." I was like, well, I guess that's why they play the game Hot Potato, like as a
Aw.
weird joke. And then I was like, I would describe myself as more like a baked potato. I'm hot, but I'm only enjoyable if you put the right things around me.
Oh my god.
Oh,
You have to put me in the right situation, like the right toppings before I'm enjoyable, but I'm still hot.
Oh,
That's
funny.
that's why I thought of that topic, because I was like, oh, I'm accepting the way I look
Yeah.
in
Right.
in a weird way, albeit, but
I've known you for a
Still.
long time, and I remember back when we were kids, you would be like, Kels, I'm just so insecure, and I don't know what to do, and I was like, you know what you should do? Stare into a mirror, and just look at yourself, and just see what happens.
know
That
what's
was my
funny?
advice.
I actually followed that advice for years.
Yeah.
And that's why I am how I am now, actually. So I did listen to you when you told me that.
Good. See, it works. Look at
I
yourself
still
in the
do it.
mirror. I think that the most important thing is to know who you are. Like, look at yourself and be like, this is what I have, this is who I am. And if you begin to think that that's beautiful, then it doesn't matter if anyone else does or not.
I still do it just because I sometimes have issues with my nose.
I do too.
Because where my nose is kind of crooked, I always feel like it just looks weird. But I was hanging out with some people the other day, and two people on separate occasions, like it was in the same space of like a few seconds, like they were agreeing with each other, but two people were like, you have a really cool nose.
Aw.
I was like, of all the things I've heard about my nose, those words have never been spoken to me, that I have a cool nose. I'm like, that's fantastic. I was like, I usually just hear that people ask me if it's been broken before, which I can see why they would ask that because it is like crooked on one side. But no, that's just the Greek genes in me.
Yeah.
For some reason, we're like, hey, bonk. Which makes glasses a real struggle for me, honestly.
Well, I'm glad you did bring that up because I've noticed it more in like a high school, middle school setting than I have here on campus. You'll be walking around or just like sitting around with your friends and you know you don't mean to eavesdrop on other conversations, but you just pick them up. And I can remember hearing this group of, it was girls. They sounded about they were around like freshmen, sophomores at the time. And they were scrolling through Instagram and they said, look at this girl and look at her caption. She's sitting here calling herself beautiful when she knows she's really not.
Excuse me.
See, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because, like, to me, if you're okay with the way you look, and the way you look, like, matches everything else about you, then you're a beautiful person. It doesn't really matter anything else.
Objectively, you know.
Yeah, objectively, if you can accept yourself and you're wearing clothes that match,
Yeah.
I think you're a beautiful person. I think you're dressed well. I think you're great. But that's, oh man, that makes me
Yeah.
angry.
There's just this very objectified view of what beauty is now. And, like, it's almost like the same person or the same photoshopped person is being, like, broadcast to the world. And they're like, they look
Kardashian.
like this, you know? And it's like, no, I'm not going to because I don't look like that. I'm not going to kill myself to look like that, you know?
See, and it when you said Kim Kardashian, it made me think there's also a flip side of it, of this whole thing of being comfortable with yourself and all that. Because celebrities have this image that they have to maintain all the time. They have to look the same way every day. And if they decide to take, like, a day off from it and just, like, relax and just
Not wear makeup.
or
They're
dress
like-
up. They're like, oh, they're letting themselves go. Oh, they're giving up on everything. Oh, they look like trash. It's like, no.
Yeah.
They look like a goddamn human being who wants to enjoy their fucking
Yeah,
day.
there was. I feel like it was like Alicia Keys or something. She went and accepted a
Yes,
speech. She
that's her.
accepted an award with no makeup on, and everyone was like, "Oh, you know, she's sporting the no makeup,
Or-
blah 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 blah." And I'm
or
like,
people
why
like-
is that such a revolutionary
Or
thing?
when girls do no makeup or like don't dress up a lot, they're like, oh, they're so brave. It's like,
Why
no.
is that brave? That's being.
That's not
They
bravery.
look normal.
Yeah.
That's just how they look.
That's your face.
You- Being yourself should never be considered brave to me.
Right. It
It should
should
just be,
be.
that's just
That's
it.
you.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm gonna do something, but it's something I normally do, it's not bravery if I'm doing it. I'm just doing what I would normally do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What I've always been really annoyed about is like you go to an interview or something and you don't wear makeup. You're considered unprofessional.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
considered
Yes.
gross and not put together. Like no matter what your hair is, no matter what your outfit is, if you don't have makeup on, you're considered unprofessional and you won't be hired.
Yeah, that's really dumb.
Same for auditions. Like you've got to be as done up as possible. Like
Yeah.
right now, I'm really done up because I just auditioned, and that's kind of unfair.
Yeah, I never usually put stuff in my hair ever because I don't really bother with it too much. I just let it be what it is.
Yeah.
But yesterday I had like mousse and hair pomade in it, so it would like stay where it was and not be all crazy later on in the day because that's what it likes to do. It likes to get ridiculous later on. And then I went out that last night and hung out with a bunch of friends, and I came back and I was like, I'm gonna go to bed and shower in the morning. I didn't get up till 3 today.
Oh.
And I was like, I feel gross because my hair still has all the stuff in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go shower. But
It's
now it's
crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's
I mean,
a
we're
crazy
taught
thing
to
me.
put these unnatural, like chemically enhanced
Yeah.
things in our bodies, on our hair, and like I don't understand why it's accepted.
And I do want to mention that like it's not just it is heavily set towards women, but it's not just
Oh no.
a female centered
Because
issue.
Once you like,
Because there's
there's
a lot
a
of
stigmatism.
there's a lot of stigma to guys as well that they have to look a certain way to fill certain roles in life.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times they'll hire a guy who's, like, very fit and has, like, a really specifically done haircut and has, like, a suit and everything, even if they don't have as much qualification as someone else, because they're just seen as, like, oh,
They look better.
exactly, they're a good face for this.
Objectively, they look better.
They're a good face for this. But you have someone who's just, even just a step below that, where, like, their hair's just what it is because they like their natural hair look.
Yeah.
And maybe, like, they're just had a rough day, or they don't own a suit, but they're wearing something dressy as it is to them. And they
Maybe
still,
they're not as fit.
but they're, like, very, very qualified for the part.
Yeah.
They usually won't get it because they'd rather have someone who
Looks it.
who will be better talking to people, like customers or other
More
companies.
aesthetically pleasing.
Exactly. Ones who can, like, bring in customers instead of one who can actually do the job.
Shit pisses me off.
Yeah, there's a lot of stigma about
There's
body
a flip
types.
side to it too, because there are guys out there who enjoy wearing makeup.
Oh,
That-
They love it so much.
I love seeing videos of guys who are doing makeup because it means that they're fighting something. Because I've never liked the whole gender standards of certain
Anything.
things. Like, nail polish is one that we talked about last episode. I had my nails painted last week, and it upsets me because black is the most culturally acceptable color for men to have their nails painted, but that bothers me because I would much prefer having, like, a royal purple on my nails. It's a fantastic
What about
color.
lavender? Oh, yeah.
No, I don't do light colors. I can't do light colors or pastels.
I'm a very earthy tone person.
Yeah, I'm
like
a very,
earth
like,
tones.
dark shaded person generally.
Yeah.
Because I wear a lot of, like, black and gray and stuff, so that's just kind of like the look that fits with me.
Before we leave for break, I'm going to do your makeup.
It's-
Putting that
I
out
love
there.
doing makeup. I love it.
If I knew how to do makeup, I'd probably at least do, like, just
A base,
something,
yeah.
so I wouldn't look dead all the time.
That's why I do it.
Same.
But it makes me happy to see guys who put those videos on Instagram and stuff with, like, them doing their makeup and stuff, because it
Yes.
looks fantastic.
It does.
And it doesn't, like, and sometimes it doesn't even match, like, the normal standards of makeup on its own, regardless of who it's on.
Yeah.
Because they're trying new things and, like, stepping out of the box with it. And I really like that. It's one of my favorite things to see.
Right. The way that personally, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're from
The way that personally I've been looking at pretty much everything in life is as a canvas. Like, you can look at anything as a blank canvas, like your body, your face, your hair, your actions,
That's another thing we talk about, is, like,
room,
tattoos.
yeah,
There's a lot of
tattoos.
stigma on those with, like,
It's
getting
just-
jobs, and people are like,
oh,
you
man.
can't be professional
God, I
with those,
hate
or
that.
oh, you can't.
Like, why not?
Like, exactly.
If I went to college to be a brain surgeon, and I have, like, a sleeve, that doesn't make me less
Yes.
qualified to be
It
a
doesn't
brain
make you
surgeon.
any less skilled, but people see it that way. Thankfully, I've noticed that a lot of times, like, especially more recently, where things are switching over, positions are switching over, like the managing positions are switching over from, like, old-fashioned people to, like, more modern side of people,
Yeah.
or people who are easier in accepting the new things.
Uh-huh.
They can understand and see that just because you have a tattoo doesn't mean that you're less qualified or you're less skilled. Because it's the same as what you're dressed as. Your clothes do not define your skills.
No.
The way you look does not define what you can do with your life.
No, everything's an art piece, you know? Everything's
And,
different.
I want a tattoo sleeve.
I want so
I
many
think
tattoos.
I don't want it on, like,
I want
both
a
arms or
tattoo.
one, but I want a tattoo so bad. But I like if I
Being
wanted
said,
a sleeve.
I can do a tattoo if you trust me enough. I can do them. Just letting you know.
I don't know if you could do handwriting.
You hesitated.
It's just tracing. Just gonna put that out there. It's just tracing.
I
with
want a
your freehand.
tattoo sleeve, but if I'm going to go into pharmacology, I can't have one because if I go in for an interview, I'm going to be considered extremely unprofessional, even though I'm literally just putting pills in a freaking bottle and handing it to
Yeah.
the dying old people.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that they need to work on a lot, is, like, judging people by their looks, or even another thing that bothers me a lot is, like, work experience necessities for jobs.
It's a catch-22.
It's an
Yes.
existing loop. Like, you can't get the work experience if they won't hire you, and they won't hire you if you don't have the work experience.
Exactly. I have not had a real job, quote-unquote, real job in my entire life
Me neither.
because
I've never been
no one
employed.
will hire me,
I worked
especially
at
where
Rite
we live.
Aid.
I've
Worked
never-
at-
Yeah, I applied
the
there.
thing
They
is,
didn't
like,
hire me.
something I watched the other day. It was a video about, like, it was anonymous resumes of very high standing and important people in society at one of their younger ages. And they're giving them to, like, these managers and CEOs of businesses to have a look over it. And these resumes either had, like, work experience and low education, or high education and no work experience. And they're like, we won't hire any of these people. And they reveal that these people were actually like very important in society. Like they invented something important, or they're like the manager or CEO of like a big company.
President.
Exactly. And it was just like a few years earlier in their life. And then they showed them another resume, asked them if they would hire this. No, it was like 3. They gave them 3 each. 2 of them were celebrities. The third one was someone they knew personally. Yeah, like one of them was like their friend's daughter. One of them was their best friend. Like that kind of stuff. It was ridiculous to look at. But they were like, but by doing this, they're like, we're gonna start looking at things a little differently.
Yeah.
Because of this.
Yeah, I mean...
To get into a less serious note,
Okay.
another topic we have is embarrassing
Yes.
moments.
I have a
Yes.
great
Oh, every
one.
day.
Every day. I wake up embarrassed.
Literally, we have
Embarrassed.
one that happened just tonight.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, so we have late night meals here. And so like they have whatever. They had donuts tonight. Like chocolate covered donuts.
Yes.
And so we got some of those and Kylie started like cutting up mine. I was like, bitch. Because she like just like went to it. I was like, bitch. I got my face real close to it. And she
I went to
cuts
go
off-
feed it
She
to
goes,
him.
and she goes to feed it to me. There's 2 people standing right next to where we're sitting. Because they're just standing there because someone like with like the bus thing is coming through with dishes and stuff. And I look up and I make 3-second eye contact with one of the girls standing there as she's feeding me. And I look down and it just gets quiet for a second between everyone. And then we just all start laughing. Because it was this weird moment where I was like made eye contact. And then I made eye contact again with someone else after I said something.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I said though. I said something ridiculous, and then I looked over and made eye contact with an RA.
It's because you had your hand
Oh,
under
you
the
did.
table.
Oh, kind of joking. She was like hitting the other side of the table, so like I started like doing it really loud, and then I looked over and made eye contact and looked away, and Kylie was like, "What if you made eye contact?" And I went, "I did."
What if you did? I did it.
And she's like, was it the RA? And you're like, it was the RA.
Literally just now. I just made eye contact with somebody.
Now I want to hear Haley's embarrassing
Oh my God.
story.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we asked each other this question earlier, and she was like, "Oh, I have one.
It
I'm not
was
sure if I told you yet." And we're like, I was
embarrassing.
like, "It doesn't matter if you told us. Just wait. I want to hear this."
I'm ready.
It was Thanksgiving. Me
Yeah.
and my boyfriend had 3 Thanksgivings to go to.
Oh.
Because it was the first time he was meeting my family. So we go to mine,
Yeah.
and we get done eating, and we were just fixing to leave from my dad to go to my mom's. So we had a table, it's a kid's table, it's where all the younger people went out to sit. And we're on my great aunt's deck. And I go, it's like, we're squeezed in, like folding chairs to the max. I go to squeeze behind, my boyfriend goes first, and then I go behind my brother's girlfriend. And I was wearing my boots. I tripped over her chair, face planted into the ground in front of my whole family.
And your
My boyfriend right there.
Oh, no.
I just sit there. I'm just like, did this fucking just happen? Like, I didn't know I just tripped and face plant. And everyone's like, are you okay? I just bust out laughing. Like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm
Oh
fine.
my
Get in the car
God.
with my boyfriend. I was like, that fucking hurt. And I was like, this is not good.
Not fine.
I don't
It
think I've
was
ever had
terrible.
something like that happen to me.
Yeah, you didn't tell me that
I'm,
story.
I'm
I
very
was
like,
dying.
I'm very secure on my feet. The thing about playing like soccer and doing dance and like the whole like touch of parkour that I did, like I'm very centered to the ground on my feet. Like I can always catch myself from a situation generally, unless I'm inebriated. But other than that, I'm usually on my feet
I
always.
saw Jeremy jump like a whole flight of stairs once.
Yeah, it was like I want to say more than a dozen stairs.
Yeah, it was.
I was just
awesome.
like,
I watched
Gone.
I watched him attempt a backflip one night.
no, I
Oh.
did backflip once. And then I tried to do it a second time, and that's when I
Failed.
fucked
Yeah.
up. I
Yeah,
fell.
you
I
did.
laid there for like 10 minutes.
And then
supposedly.
we were
That's
at
what they
Sheets.
tell me.
We had came back in. I think it was during Thanksgiving break.
Mm-hmm.
We were at Sheets, and he nearly fell into the wine rack.
Oh yeah, I don't ever like really trip on my own feet, but for some reason I did,
Yeah.
and I nearly dropped a shoulder into the wine rack.
Oh man.
I was like, I'm
That
glad I
would've been
didn't,
expensive.
That would've
Yeah, it would've.
because I wouldn't want to pay for that. And my excuse would be, I can't do that. I don't have the money.
Yeah, you're not legally allowed
You don't
to
want to
buy
pay
it.
for it. You can't pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That'd be a huge issue.
it would be
Yeah.
a big issue, and that's something I was like, oh no. So I don't ever have like any falling stories ever.
This question
But,
sucks for me because I do embarrassing things at least 4 times a day, and so like I want to talk about my most recent, which it was one of those like your face gets really just like hot.
Oh
You know what I
no,
mean?
I've felt that,
Yeah.
but not in like those situations. Like I've said something and like I'm even like, oh no.
Yeah, definitely. I say embarrassing things all of the time. So yesterday I was in class and my professor was like, he told me to turn off the light because I was closest to the light switch. So, and we're in rolly chairs, which I hate.
Oh,
Those
no.
chairs
So-
are difficult to move around.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
they are.
are. So I, slide the chair out from my butt and then like I trip a little bit, and like I don't know if people noticed, and then I went to hit the light switch, and I like blacked out because I was just thinking too much about how I tripped from the chair, so I just like hit the wall, missed the light switch, and then everyone was staring at me, and I was like, huh, and I made that noise. I went, huh, and then I flipped off the light switch. And then I sat in my chair and stared straight ahead, and I know that like my friends were looking at me laughing, and I was just like not moving, and my face was like really hot, and I just felt so embarrassed.
That did remind me of an embarrassing story I have from Picnic, the play we were in.
Oh.
You should remember this.
Oh no, I have an embarrassing story too.
My role on the scenes I was in, I had to ride in on a bike, and I had to get off and like hit the kickstand and like put the bike there and leave it. One night, on my entrance, I missed the bike stand 3 times in a row, and it was silent in that room the entire time.
I was
and then I finally got it, and then people started laughing. I was like, in my head, I was like, I felt hot. I was like, oh my god.
It's scary because you're in front of so many people. You're performing.
Really, their job at that moment is to critique what you're doing.
Yeah, honestly, what I think is so interesting about theater is that people kind of go to the audience. They're like, I want to see this show. It's going to be awesome. And in your brain, you're always like, I want something to go wrong. Even if, you don't outwardly think that.
But what's also funny is
it's like when things go wrong, it's like this hugely entertaining thing. You know what I mean?
But there's also sort of it like, if people don't know the show at all, and if you don't play it off, they won't know if you've made a mistake.
Yeah, one of the girls, she had really slick shoes. She didn't know that they were slick.
Oh, yeah.
She was the main character, and she was running across the stage and just straight slipped and fell on her butt, and she just kept going, and she played it off beautifully. And I asked a couple of people what they thought, and they were like, oh, that wasn't a part of it. And I was like, oh, see, good. Like, you don't know.
Yeah, I was telling someone
whenever you do something wrong on stage, you just run with it.
I was telling someone about how I missed the kickstand a bunch of times, and they're like, oh, yeah, it's just totally work for your character, though. Because, like, my character is like a 12-year-old, well, I think he's more like around like 14 or 17, something like that. But he is just this little scrub of a kid who gets tossed around a lot, so it makes sense.
By a girl, a.k.a. me.
Yes, and a dude like bigger than him. So it makes sense that on returning to the scene of where he's already been basically beaten up, he'd be afraid.
Yeah, so
that was my excuse.
Yeah,
that was one of the only good things that came out of our high school. Is when we did take show choir, we were always told if we mess up, just continue with it.
Just make it work, because no one knows except you.
If you don't freak out, they can't tell.
You know, it's definitely a life experience thing. Like you get better at it, unless you're me and you can't flip off a light switch, so you go in front of like 1,200 people.
So Kylie, do you want to share with us an embarrassing story?
An embarrassing story, it has to be during our senior year. I was too tired to remember it, but I do remember being embarrassed about it, so I played it off. We had done the senior girls lock-in.
Oh, yeah.
That is the morning after.
I'm mad that they won't do a guys lock-in.
Gender equality.
The guys do nothing. They don't do anything.
My school didn't do anything.
I'm not gonna get into it.
But so we go to AP English. It's really early morning. None of the girls have slept, and so I have this giant monster can, and I'm really tired. I don't know what I'm doing. I have my blanket. I have my pillow pet. I just want to sleep. Well, I did something. My blanket hit the monster. It's open. It spills everywhere.
I remember this.
I looked at it.
The floor was sticky for days.
It was. I looked at it, looked at Michael, looked at Frankie, looked at Jeremy. I shrugged my shoulders and I laid on the floor and went to sleep.
Yeah.
I was like, this is embarrassing.
You know Hayden, right? Okay, so we had Spanish together, and remember when like Gatorade had that cucumber flavor for whatever reason? Smells disgusting.
That's the worst flavor.
He spilled it. All of it in the floor, so the room just smelled like pure cucumbers. It was awful. I did try it before he spilled it. It's as bad as it seems. It's god awful.
Liquid salad.
I don't even like solid salad.
Oh man.
I want like real
those,
salad.
You know those glass Starbucks bottles, like the vanilla lattes or whatever?
Yeah.
I was in French class. Were you in my French class?
I was.
You were in my French class. Do you remember like 3 different times when I broke those?
Yes.
I always came in with Starbucks like glass cups, and I put them on my desk, and I would always like do this thing where I would knock it off, and it would either break or it wouldn't. And 3 different occasions it broke, and my French teacher hated me.
She would just look at the mess, look up at us, and she's just like...
Yeah, eventually she banned like food and drink.
Yeah.
Wasn't she the one who
fault.
just didn't blink?
Yes.
Yes.
And the one who always talked shit in Spanish to Senior Ball.
I honestly loved her. Like I had a special place in my heart for her.
I still have the photo that she gave
I
us.
do too. I have the little box
Me
of the
too.
Le Petit Prince.
I have the necklace
Bronze.
still, surprisingly.
Oh,
Still
I
in
love
the
it.
original chain, too. I know, like, a lot of people had problems with it. It would break.
I don't
But-
know. I haven't even worn mine. I should do that. I think
I
it's
should
really
do it
cool.
I don't have anything interesting from high school. I do have
Your
one-
memories.
They're not
Thanks
good.
for the memo. I do have a locker handle from the middle school. It completely broke off. Like I was helping
Kind
people.
of like the whole school.
Yeah,
it-
you're right.
Well, yeah, since it was all caved in now and condemned.
Yeah.
It was like the end of the year, and at the end of every year, they go and clean out all the lockers, and if there's stuff still in it, they just throw it away or whatever. And I was helping them clean out lockers, and we had to clip off one of these locks, and we could not get it. No one could get it.
Yeah.
Like the football players, they couldn't get it. No one could get it. So we call the janitor over. And he's trying to get it, and he's like clipping at it, and he twists to try and like get it broken, and the entire handle, with the lock still attached to the bottom, just snapped off the locker as one whole piece.
Oh.
And I picked it up and went, "Yeah, I've deserved this." And I kept it because it was like the last time I was going to be in the middle school. I was like, and I kept it. I
And
still
that's
have
when the
it.
middle school started falling
I
apart.
still have some of it. What if that was like the one thing holding the school together?
Yeah. Everything just fell like
Because
the
of
next
one
day.
locker. Yeah, that's hilarious. I do know someone who I played soccer with who got that locker the next year. No, and instead of like a handle, it just had like a zip tie.
What do you do with a zip tie?
You like pull it up, I guess. Like,
Well,
Oh
what
my
do you do with
gosh.
trailers hot glued together? That's supposed to be your middle school.
We call it Trailer Park Middle School.
mess with the trailer, you get the whole park.
Oh, man.
There needs to be like some like education reform.
Education is fucked.
Well,
in
they
America.
finally decided to consolidate Oak Hill, Fayetteville, Midland Trail. Well, is it Midland Trail and Valley?
What?
Yeah, they probably
Yeah.
consolidate.
How are they gonna?
Did you say Meadow Bridge?
Yeah,
How
Meadow Bridge.
they-
That's what I meant, not Midland Trail, Meadow Bridge.
How are they gonna? How are they?
I just want to throw out that they're making these kids drive an hour
Especially
to
Valley.
that school.
Especially Valley.
And Valley, yeah, I used to live there.
Are they
but
gonna like make a new building for it?
I have no idea.
I've heard
Because
that
they would have to if they're gonna do that.
I've heard that the middle school is going to the high school, and they're going to either build a new middle school or a new high school. They would have to build a high school. They would have
Yeah.
to.
They'd
Yeah.
have to build a new school if they're gonna put all those people in there,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
they can at least like try and make it centralized so everyone has like the same
Yeah.
amount of time to get
I
there to make
drove-
it fair.
I
But
drove
that's
from-
ridiculous.
I drove from our high school to Meadow Bridge almost every day 2 summers ago because I was in Meadow Bridge, the film,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and which is still in like editing process. But I was
that's a
in
lot
that
of
film.
that's a lot of film to go over, so I can understand that.
Yeah,
I mean,
seriously.
even editing this 1 hour audio podcast,
Yeah, it's crazy.
it takes time to get through all of it and make sure you're doing stuff right.
Yeah. But so I drove there every day, and it was this horrible drive. And I was just thinking about these kids. They would have to wake up at like 3 in the morning so they
Yeah.
could catch their bus at 4 to like get there by 5. I know that's probably a little early, but like same thing. Like they're gonna have to wake
Yeah.
up at 4 or 5 in the morning,
That's
and that's
nonsense.
cruel. You
I don't
know?
Well, when they were first talking, when the middle school first started falling apart, and they wanted to pass the whatever.
Yeah.
My mother's friend, she lives down in Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Her son would have to get on 3 different buses.
That just
Just
makes
to go
no
to the
sense.
high school.
So you don't know if your kid is getting from each bus safely. You know?
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a question from somebody for the podcast just now. Who would win in a fight? All 151 original Pokemon, or a billion lions?
Fucking robots.
Sex robots.
Sex crazed robots.
Sex crazed robots. I imagine now a billion lions, 151 original Pokemon, and sex robots.
Oh my
in
god.
all out battle.
Man, they've all got like so much drive behind them. They've all got so much like what's the word I'm looking for? Influence. I don't know.
Influence?
No, they've got
What would a billion lions have an influence
no,
on?
no, no. Like you have intention. They all
Oh.
have intention. Lions want to kill shit and
For
eat,
food.
and then
They're hunting.
Sex robots want to fuck. And then what's the other thing?
Pokemon.
All the Pokemon. They
They just want to survive.
They just
Oh,
gotta
man.
say their own
Now,
names.
I don't want to hear I don't want to see anything about sex robots. Like,
Oh
no, that's
you hear?
no, Mewtwo.
Oh my god.
Poor Mewtwo. Oh
Get lick a
no.
tongue.
Oh no.
Fucking cloister.
Oh, what is
Jeremy.
the or whatever? What is it? Chicken?
Oh, Togepi. I think
Oh.
you're thinking of Togepi.
I don't know.
The one that's in the shell?
Yes.
Togepi.
Absolutely.
Oh no.
What if if Pikachu got a hold of one of the robots where he's the electric type? Alright, we're done here.
Oh my god, I don't want any of this to be part of anything anymore.
So I think the lines.
Yeah, to be fair, there's a billion of them, but
There's a billion.
There are robots. It depends on how strong the robots are made.
And it also depends on like how high their sex drive is.
I don't know how badly they want to fuck. But then like different Pokemon have different strengths and weaknesses. Does that include the legendaries too? The first 151?
Oh, it has to.
Like the Zapdos and Moltres
Right?
and all that? Like, because I think Zapdos could fuck up a bunch of sex robots.
Oh, sure,
quick.
sure. So
Like
the
a,
lines.
like a good solid lightning bolt would take out a big chunk of them at once.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Lions would win.
Nice.
Yeah.
For sure. A billion Lions. A billion Lions or a billion Lions team fans?
Oh my gosh. You know how it goes.
No, I always say for certain, like, a billion Lions would win that fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't matter how many of the other the
Yeah,
Lions win.
A billion lines.
So I want who would win a battle? I Am Legend Will Smith or
Don't
I
say
Robot
it.
Will
Oh.
Smith?
iRobot.
Okay.
He's got a metal arm.
I thought you were
Of
going
course
to say
he's gonna
Suicide
win.
Squad.
That's
Okay.
where I was
Talk
going to go.
about
But
it.
then I was
Still,
like,
that version will win though, because as a character, Deathstroke or Deadshot.
Deadshot.
Sorry, they're very close characters. Fuck me.
Robots.
robots. Deadshot. He's
Deadshot.
he's Deadshot. There's not much to say about it.
He always
There's
hits none like a stormtrooper.
actually stormtroopers are very good. There's a theory that in that movie they purposely miss because they're supposed to take them alive. Because earlier in the movies they were talking about like there's a shot that was made. It was like a very very impossible shot that like only a stormtrooper could have made this. It was the best shots in like the universe. Or
They're
whatever.
programmed, right?
No,
Are they
only
not?
only the new ones are programmed. Because like the new ones are basically trained and mentally fucked up and brainwashed to do it.
Like
They're-
Finn.
Finn, yeah, they're
He's real.
real ones. The clones are also like programmed,
Okay.
but like the original ones are not.
I need to go back and like rewatch everything.
Yeah.
I miss it. I loved it when I was little.
okay, so Kelsey, I asked everyone towards the end of the last podcast the same question,
Yeah.
and everyone pretty much gave me their answer. I want to hear yours.
Okay.
What would you kink shame?
Whoa, kink shame. Necrophilia.
Yes.
Do not fuck a dead person.
Twilight.
Like, come
Rick and
on.
That's the
Mortis.
premise is the Twilight.
Rick and Mortis.
Like, I just.
Forever erections.
That was the first thing I thought
Death
of.
is nature's Viagra.
Oh my god. It's just like this person that no longer has a soul it's just you're just fucking it. Like stop.
But warm bodies.
Stop it.
That's how you brought them back to
That's
humanity.
not real. It's not a real thing. In real life, when it's an actual kink, like stop. Like, go to jail.
I want to see your scientific evidence that fucking a zombie won't turn it back into a human.
That could
I
be
wanna
part of
see
your
your
story.
scientific evidence that
That's
zombies
right.
aren't real.
No.
Zombies aren't real, so you're invalid.
Haley,
right
I
now.
never got your answer for
Don't
that
invalidate me.
last podcast.
Invalid.
No, I gave it 10. I gave it
You
10.
can't say that.
What does that mean? I'm just kidding.
Well, I can honestly say during the last podcast, I learned that I would kink shame Jeremy for a lot of things.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Oh.
I love how she brings this up at the end of
Oh,
every
dude.
podcast.
I'll kink shame you for Snapchat.
Hey.
My kink is kink shaming.
Just during. Just imagine you.
Just
What, Jen?
oh, I hate necrophilia.
Wait, are you fucking a dead corpse and then yelling to the corpse you hate necrophilia? Or are you being fucked like something that came back to life, like the undead and you're yelling at it? I don't understand. Are you dead and you're coming
No,
back
no,
to life?
I just imagined
In
her.
what way are you
No, no,
yelling
No,
during
I just
sex
imagine
about
her like
necrophilia?
having sex with someone. She's either on top or on the
No.
bottom. She just yells it out.
But that,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, what? Would that be
You're
okay?
just-
to
you're
just
just
yell about
thinking-
necrophilia while you're having sex with someone, unless they were dead or you
Because
were
her
dead.
kink
Well,
is
if
kink
your
shaming.
kink is kink shaming, you just talk about
But I thought like doesn't,
shaming kinks.
that doesn't make sense. Like, I only think of you shaming a kink if it's happening.
Well, I'm sorry. If she wants to ride a dick and scream out how much she hates foot fetishes, she can. It's her right.
Can't
As
stop
a
her.
human. Exactly. Yeah, what you gonna do? Just stop?
I'm
Are you shaming my kink of kink shaming? Is that what you're doing?
Kink shaming is my kink shame.
Oh,
It's my guilty pleasure.
I just
You have a lot of those.
man.
I want to fuck a robot.
I was getting ready to say the same sentence. Whoa.
You can make robot hermaphrodites very easily.
Oh.
Anyway, I think we're gonna wrap it up there.
Yes, we are.
Yay.
Call that an episode. Wrap it up nicely.
Nice to meet you. What? Nice to meet you, podcast.
Nice to meet you, podcast. Thank you for coming on today's episode. I hope you become a regular.
Do it.
The last thing I have to say is we're on like all social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Find us somewhere. There's gonna be links in the description of the
Yes.
YouTube video and such. We're on iTunes, Podbean if that's what you're into, SoundCloud, YouTube. There'll be links to all that as well.
We're all birds in a nest.
Yeah, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, or if you didn't. I don't care. I want your support anyway. We get 100 subscribers, we can change our URL, and that's all I want, honestly.
And we'll see you guys in the next video.
Have a good time.
Bye!